If you're going to start a mass movement and create a vehicle for change, the first question you have to ask yourself is, who do I want to serve? Sometimes it can be hard to identify exactly who these people are. If you look closely, you'll find almost all expert businesses are based on one of three core markets: health, wealth, or relationship. Inside each of these three core markets are multiple sub-markets. For example, inside of health, you could have dozens of sub-markets like diet, nutrition, strength training, and weight loss. Inside the wealth market, you may have finance, investing, real estate, and sales. And the same goes for the relationship market. The list is practically endless in any of these three core markets. My question for you is, what sub-market does your area of expertise fit in now? Some of you may think that you found your answer, but the money is not in the sub-market. The riches are in the niches, and those are one step beyond the sub-market. Look around the other experts in your sub-markets and see what they are selling. Where do you fit in that ecosystem? What can you offer people that is different and special? The goal is to carve out a unique spot in that ecosystem where you can thrive. That's your niche, and that niche is one of the keys to success as an expert. The webinar process and the perfect webinar script works really well for offers between $297 and $2,997. But when you're selling more expensive offers, you need to add in another step. Instead of just sending people to an order form, send them to a page where they fill out an application. Then get on the phone and interview them to see if they're a good fit for the program. This works for two reasons. Reason number one, it's much easier to sell $2,997 up to a $100,000 program on the phone. That extra step helps people feel comfortable paying the higher dollar amounts. Reason number two, at the higher level programs, you're typically going to be working more closely with people. You can screen them to make sure you'll enjoy working with them. If they aren't a good fit, then don't accept them into your programs. In .com Secrets, I shared a two-step phone script that works really well when you have salespeople working for you. For that script to work, you need two people, a setter and a closer. It works amazingly well, but only when the expert isn't the one on the phone. At least in the beginning, you'll be doing these sales calls yourself, so for that reason, I recommend a completely different script. The 4-question close script. Have you ever noticed that two people can tell the same story with completely different outcomes? In one, you're emotionally captivated and engaged, and someone else tells you a story about the exact same experience and you fall asleep. What's the difference? What makes some people better at storytelling than others? The first key to telling captivating stories is oversimplification. When you're telling stories, you need to speak at about a 3rd grade level. Many of you will struggle with this because you like to use big words and show off your vocabulary and try to sound sophisticated and smart. There may be a time and a place for that, but it's not when you're telling stories. People are used to digesting information at about a 3rd grade level. When you go above that, you start to lose people quickly. There's a reason that news stations speak to their audiences at this level. During the 2016 primary elections, a study looked at the speeches of the Republican candidates and ran them through the Flesch-Kincaid test that shows the grade level of their speeches. Trump averaged a 3rd to a 4th grade level on each of his speeches, where the other candidates like Ted Cruz had a 9th grade level, and both Ben Carson and Mike Huckabee were at 8th grade levels. Using big words may make you feel smarter, but will not influence others. I found there are 3 core beliefs that come to the surface and keep someone from buying, even if they believe the new opportunity is right for them. Step 1, the vehicle. Other false beliefs they may have about the vehicle or the new opportunity you're presenting. Number 2, the internal belief. Beliefs about their own ability to execute on the new opportunity. And number 3 are external beliefs. False beliefs they have from outside forces that could keep them from success. So in a more complicated sell, you need to imagine what their false beliefs are related to each of these 3 things. So all the false beliefs you found related to the vehicle, put them in the first column. False beliefs about their own internal beliefs go in the second column, and external beliefs into the third. Now decide which of those false beliefs is the core belief holding them back in each column and put it at the very top. Now that you have your list of false beliefs, you also need an epiphany bridge story to go with each of them. Finally, I rewrite each of these false beliefs and the stories that will go with them into a secret that causes curiosity so people will want to listen. Curiosity is the key. Do you see the power behind what we've created here? It's all about breaking the false belief patterns holding your prospects back and rebuilding true beliefs. Everything you've done to this point has been designed to encourage curiosity, build rapport, and introduce the new opportunity. You'll be tempted to switch into teacher mode at this point, and if you're not careful, it'll destroy yourself. This is not a teaching presentation. This is a presentation to inspire people and cause them to actually take action to change their lives. Remember, you are focusing on identifying their false belief patterns, breaking them, and then rebuilding them with the truth. I'm sure that for some of you, this concept doesn't make sense, or you got a little upset about it. When I first tried to sell something I had created that I knew would change people's lives, I did it in teacher mode. I taught my best stuff knowing that as soon as they heard it, they'd want more, right? Wrong. Instead, people told me my content was amazing, but then they just left with all the cool new stuff that they had learned. They never actually implemented what I had created for them. While I was trying my best to help them, it actually hurt them because they didn't shift their beliefs, didn't buy anything, and never changed their lives. I was a failed expert and coach. I honestly believe that the greatest service you can provide for someone is getting them to buy something. The act of buying creates a commitment that causes them to actually take action. Hey, my name is Russell Brunson, and I welcome you to the ClickFunnels headquarters. I'm here today to share with you guys something really, really important. It's called a kinda like bridge. And this is gonna help you to sell whatever it is you're selling way easier, because so many of you guys get so caught up in the techno babble of your thing that nobody actually wants to give you money. But before we do that, what I want you to do is, if this message resonates with you or anyone you know, please share it down below and tag them in a comment, whatever it is. That way they can learn about kinda like bridges and help make them more money, make you more money. And at the same time, if you like this video, if you share it, it lets me know, and then I'll keep making cool videos like this. If not, then don't share it. But if you like it, please share it. All right, with that said, let's talk about a kinda like bridge. So what is a kinda like bridge? The problem that most people have is when you're speaking to someone or selling something. It can be anything from a car to a new book to whatever it is that you sell. The biggest problem we have is that we start talking to people and we start trying to sell them logically. We start spewing out all this techno babble on people, right? We're trying to explain this new concept. The problem is, as soon as you say that and use a word that somebody doesn't understand or they don't know, the second you do that, you may feel smart about yourself because you're using a really big word, but the problem is that their eyes glaze over and everything you say from that point forward just kind of gets all fuzzy and disappears. And so what I do is I use this really cool thing called a kinda like bridge. And what that does is, every single time I introduce a new concept or a word that they may not be familiar with, the second I say the word, I stop and I say, you know, it's kind of like this. Okay, so for example, let's say I was in the weight loss market. I was trying to explain to somebody what ketosis was. Now let's say you're a weight loss expert, you already know what it is, so you think that you're really smart using that big word. You say, yeah, if you get your body in ketosis and blah, 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 right? The person, as soon as you said the word ketosis, their mind got fuzzy and everything said afterwards disappeared. But if you stopped and said ketosis, and you're like, you know, ketosis, it's kind of like, imagine you had like a million motivational speakers running through your body, giving you energy. Like, that's what it feels like to be in ketosis. So I say, it's kind of like, and I bring it back here, and I bridge it to something that they already understand. Okay, if I was going to explain to you what funnels works, I'm here at ClickFunnels. I said the word funnel. I may think I know what I'm talking about. May feel very smart, but it doesn't help me to get the concept back to you. So I may say the word funnel, and I'll stop and I'll say, like, a funnel. It's kind of like, have you ever been to McDonald's before and you go through the drive-in and you order a Big Mac or whatever, and they ask you if you want fries with that? That's an upsell. Like, that's like a funnel where you're adding more things on. You're like, oh, cool, yeah, I know McDonald's. That's a funnel. Okay, cool, I get it. And then they understand the new concept. This is the key to sales, to persuasion, to everything you do. The second you use any kind of word in any conversation, whether you're talking, you're on a Facebook Live, you're doing a video, you're doing a webinar, you're writing a book, whatever it is, every single time you come upon a word or a concept that is in any way confusing to anybody besides you, you need to stop and say, it's kind of like this. And then you share what it's kind of like. Then they will understand it instantly. That'll be bridged, and then they will continue to listen and focus on your message. This kind of like bridge has made me so much money. It's so simple. It's something that every one of you guys can do today. In fact, it's just one of the cool concepts I teach inside of my brand new book called Expert Secrets. Expert Secrets will teach you how to share your message. It's going to talk about how to do stories the right way, how to use kind of like bridges and other things to get your message out to the world. Expert Secrets will help you to find your message. It's going to help you to build a tribe, and it's going to help you to personally change the world. Now, if you want your free copy of this, I bought a whole bunch of these. I covered the book cost. You cover the shipping and handling. There'll be a link either up above or down below. Click on that link and you get your free copy of the Expert Secrets book so you can get your message out to more people. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward, and while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see geniuses, because the people who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do.